Hey guys, it's the Big Brothers of Destruction back with another episode. It's the Masaku.
It's your boy Swag Switcher in the building. Please don't mind me. I didn't eat today. It's been a very dreary and rainy day, and kind of fits the mood a little bit considering what I know I woke up to this morning and what everybody else who's a wrestling fan woke up to. The passing of a legend, someone who I know near and dear to your heart, considering the fact that you are indeed an ECW main.
Yeah, I appreciate you immediately starting off with that because that was one of the first things I wanted to do is pay respects to Sabu, the homicidal, genocidal, death-defying Sabu. He does have a near dear place in my heart as a wrestling fan. One of those people that, man, he definitely passed at the age of 60. It's one of those people you just didn't expect it to happen, but life is life and it comes for us all. Um just wasn't
It's
expecting it today.
interesting because I literally saw a post that was saying the fact that which just goes to show, like, if you could say that his way of life and his way of wrestling was what he lived for, damn it, that's exactly what he did. Because I think they said that he literally like a week ago retired.
Actually he had his last match just the other night, yeah. In a
Okay,
white
yeah.
suit and
So
everything. He went through a barbed wire table, barbed wire ropes. He lived it and he breathed it. And for it to for it to happen though, in this way, he went out the way he came in. So we have to give him that much. We have to again say thank you, Sabu, for everything you've done for the wrestling business. And I've heard a lot of stories about, like, things he turned down from WWE and what he could have been doing and all that kind of stuff. And to understand that he had so many opportunities that was given to him, he wasn't a man that needed them. He was a man of little words, but he let his body do the talking. He let his body do the storytelling. So, again, thank you to Sabu. I would say my best moment, and I'm gonna leave it at this. My best moment from Sabu, and you will know this one. It's, well, two of them actually. It's the Taz and Sabu feud that made Taz who he is today, and it is that tag team match with him and Rob Van Dam. I will never forget that fucking match in my life with him, Hayabusa, and I do apologize for the other individual. He was basically Japan's Undertaker. That's how I remember him. That's how he was. He was literally Japan's Undertaker. And boy, definitely heavy heart, but I don't know if you have any memorable moments yourself. I know I've shown you many of clips, many of things of Sabu and the craziness that is him.
so like I've watched Sabu by proxy for the most part. I've seen little small tidbits of him. One of the things that I loved about Sabu, right? Especially one of those, like, it was the thing that, like, when I finally got to really see him, I was like, this is not what I expected. Cause like with Sabu, when people talk about him, they talk about like all of these crazy things that he would do and how wild he was and this, that, and the other. It was like when I finally had my chance to see him, because for a while he was just a name, and legendarily spoken of. And then when I saw him, I was all like, "This is Sabu," and I was thrown off at first. And then once I finally got to see him, and then I watched what he would do, kind of thing, and I was like, "Man, okay, it makes sense. I get it now. I see this Sabu character." But one of those things, how you was talking about how, he had all these different opportunities and he turned them down and stuff like that. That's probably the one thing I could say I could respect to high heaven and back about Sabu. And that's the fact that Sabu could not be swayed by money or fame. No, 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 no. Sabu said, if you want me, you gotta take all of this and what I do. You're not going to change me. I'm not going to let you change me. There's no amount of money that you can pay me that will change me. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to be this. And if you want this, then you pay for it. Otherwise, I'll take my business elsewhere. And that's exactly what he did. And I feel like a lot of I feel like a lot of wrestlers, and I know a lot of wrestlers wouldn't do that. Hell, I know I myself wouldn't do that because a lot of us would be all like, well, I kind of want that paycheck though. So I mean, if I gotta wear the short shorts and the pink top, then sure. I mean, it's only gonna be for a minute type thing. Sabu's like, nah, man. I come in there with barbed wire stick in hand, and if I can't, I'll take it somewhere else. And that is something you have to respect about. And
Same thing
so
I said about New Jack.
you said he had a match like last night.
It was like the other week. It was like a couple of days or so, something like that. But it
Okay,
was
so
just
then
recent. It was just recent.
okay, okay, that's okay. So then maybe
It
that's why
might have
you were
been that
saying
match you were
okay.
talking about because you said like a week ago, but I just know it was like literally a couple of days ago.
Mm-hmm.
He just was announced that Iron Sheik, his uncle, is the next episode of Dark Side of the Ring. So this is like the second time an ECW wrestler has done a Dark Side of the Ring. And granted, New Jack, his was made before his passing. It was
Mm-hmm.
like New Jack had his
But
episode.
by
He
the
was
time it aired, he had literally just passed. I think it was
no, it was something else he was involved in, and then he
okay.
filmed that one, and then he passed. But his original one, he was up and able to watch it, still exists, do his thing, and then whenever he filmed the next one is after his passing. I mean,
Mm,
excuse me, whenever that one was posted, it was after his passing.
gotcha.
So
Okay.
same
Okay.
thing with Sabu. It's literally we got the announcement. It's literally this Tuesday. He's not even able to watch it.
It's okay. He lived it. And at least he left a little he at least since that would probably be our I guess in a sense that would be like our true last time seeing him in any kind of setting
Mm-hmm.
and him speaking. But
Yes.
freaking definitely a legend. One gone, not forgotten, never will be forgotten. As long as ECW's name will be chanted like like Sabu is ECW. I would almost say Sabu is ECW as much as Andre the Giant is WWE.
He's
Like,
definitely in the Mount Rushmore. That is absolutely for sure. Definitely if
like
there was an ECW Mount Rushmore, he is on that.
oh, absolutely, 100%. Sabu is ECW. Period.
Yeah. I
Right?
mean, if we're gonna real quick talk about Mount Rushmore, I can say it off the rip. And if anybody has an argument, we could have a conversation. ECW Mount Rushmore, Sabu, Taz, Rob Van Dam, and this one is a hit or miss. Some people may say Shane Douglas. Some people may say um his name is drawing a blank right now because you can't really put the Dudley Boys. Honestly, the Dudley Boys has to be on that, but it can't. It has to be like a single person. So Taz, Sabu, Rob Van Dam. I want to say Jerry Lynn. I'm gonna say
Really?
Jerry Lynn because him and Rob Van Dam's matches, bro. Those were
So
you.
not Tommy Dreamer,
Damn, you're right.
not
That's who
Sandman.
it was. It. That's who. Oh, wow. Ooh. Mm. All right. Let
He's
because I'm.
literally.
I
We're
would
not
have.
doing that now. It's like we're not doing that right. Not right now.
I will
We're not
have
gonna
a
do that to
serious conflict with myself. But I say all that. Sabu, thank you so
you.
much for everything you've done. And we hope that hardcore wrestling like that in general, still goes on in your memory. So thank you so much for that. But going along with this week of wrestling, we got a lot of things we can talk about. We're gonna briefly try to go over the week of wrestling, some of the things we noticed: Raw, SmackDown, AEW Collision, and Backlash just happened. So, yeah,
Mm,
real quick, Swag,
that's
what are your thoughts
nice.
about this week? Because I know you've been deep diving into a lot of these things.
So, actually, funny enough, this week has been a bit off for me.
I'll agree.
I
Same
I
here.
did I did manage to at least to watch what I could. Like I
Mm-hmm.
did, I was normally I'll watch and I'll take notes, but with the way that this week has been, I have not been able to watch and take notes like I usually do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just spitballing it and going it off the top of my head. Number one, um, let me just give AEW its props right now,
Oh wait, is it
because
gonna be like how was Gluck and John Cena, like you just said a fucking few minutes ago?
whoa, whoa,
It's gonna
whoa,
be on
whoa,
that
whoa,
level?
whoa. I'm not pulling out. I'm just tapping. I'm just patting them on the head real quick.
You've been patting them on the
Cause
head for a couple of weeks now. You might as well just go ahead and at least grope them. You know what I'm saying?
listen, okay, AEW has they've been doing things that I'm just, and once again, because going all the way back to prior, we were saying the fact like how AEW, they're kind of in their they're going through their WrestleMania build up, which is for them it's what is it, goddamn.
Apparently, so here's the weird thing, because like Google says is double or nothing, and then like wrestling fans were saying it's all in. So I'm like, I could have sworn it was double or nothing, but
Hmm.
I'm going from what the wrestling public is saying. It's apparently all in.
But I do think it's a little weird almost because it's like compared to like before that last pay per view and then now, it's almost as if they're like a they're completely moving differently.
Okay.
Like with the way that they've been, and maybe it's because they're in this weird bit where they're trying to like they're rebuilding stories or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's also been funny to me how like how WWE and AEW have been kind of biting at each other a little bit
A
because we
little
have
bit.
FTR, all right, and it's one of those things where technically it would almost feel as if like no, or can I say that? It's really close because it's it almost feels like WWE is biting on AEW a little bit with certain things. Like for instance, the whole situation going on with FTR and Tony Schiavone and everything with the and they're like
See, apparently that happened after Gunther and that situation. So I don't know what really to say to that.
okay, so that did happen. For I was trying
Yeah,
to figure out when.
Gunther and Pat McAfee happened before that happened.
However,
Wait, no, wait.
if you
Could
think
sworn.
about it, because the only reason why they did well, it's very actually no, it's very similar to them. It's just that ooh, see, it's kind of a photo finish because
Mm-hmm.
the situation is the fact that Raw comes on first before AEW
Yeah.
in the weekly lineup. But at the same time, it was all because of something that either Michael Cole or Shivani said about the respective wrestlers. And then so after it was said, which I think considering the time, I want to say it was said. I want to say that what he said was related to Collision. I want to say,
Mm-hmm.
which would have been Saturday. But
Potentially.
then But however it may be, they've been biting on each other because of that storyline. And there's one other storyline
Javon,
that I was.
you don't want to get into the real shit like with Javon Evans and Ricochet. You don't want to talk about that.
The young OG
Where 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 where
getting.
where where he said brother. I when he said Ricochet said brother, I was learning from Shawn Michaels when. Oh no, excuse me. This was Javon Evans saying this to Ricochet. Brother, I was learning from Shawn Michaels when you was 12. Uh Wait, was it? Oh no, excuse me, my apology. It is Ricochet replying to John Evans. So, brother, I've been learning from Shawn Michaels since you was 12. Then went to be a multi-time champion. Let me know when you win this one, little boy. And then Javon said, "Oh, word." So, you learned from HBK when I was 12 and became a multi-time champion. Now you're wrestling in front of 2,000 people every week for a crackhead. Uh, talk about an upgrade. Am I right? The young OG.
Listen, I I feel and I've seen so many like outlandish things people have said. None of it I've been able to confirm. But one of the ones that I saw was all like, man, it was like that someone made a tweet says like, man, the young OG just made NXT have to go through heavy heavy social media training or something like that. I'm like, damn, that'd be funny if
Ooh,
that was the truth. But
ooh,
here it, I don't I don't know why do that? Like
like the
why are
response.
we period? Just the whole like I don't see why he had to try and go after Ricochet, especially right now with
Well,
Ricochet firing on all cylinders.
I believe Ricochet. Okay, Ricochet was responding. It says, "Sounds like Mr. Khan isn't giving you enough attention, so you had to come for a successful youngin. You're giving me the most views my posts have ever had. Finally, helping to get you some attention you've ever had." And it was like wink, wink emoji, and then Ricochet responded. So Javon Evans was kind of the one that started it, and I don't
Yes,
get it. It's a thing I don't get. Like I know as wrestlers, they kind of have a little tribe. Like we as wrestling fans have tribalism. It looks like the workers have tribalism too by saying, "Man, fuck the other side," and it's on some gang shit. Like literally, it's gang shit, and it's crazy.
it's but that's how it always is.
Yeah.
It always has been that way. Like and it's one of those things where in WWE they've been dealing with it for forever because they've always
Mm-hmm.
been the ones on top. The only time, and even when they weren't on top, they was dealing with it. Like which one of the things I love about WWE normally, however, uh, young OG kind of stepping out of the line on this one, but it's like WWE does the thing where it's like they don't talk. They just flex.
Mm-hmm. A lot of the times too. And the
They,
thing,
you
and the thing
know,
about he
AEW will
messaged
be
like a young.
all, oh, absolutely. Like, and it's like, and of all people to want to come after, like, trying to, like, do this with Ricochet right now. I mean, grant if it was because you just wanted to get eyes on yourself, then sure, okay. However, Ricochet, he's on one right now, and he's looking for a reason.
I don't know, man.
Like,
He's his heel persona. Everybody's loving his heel persona, so I'm not too sure. Like, why would he be on one like that? I think Ricochet. It's more so because he's in veteran status. He's like 30, almost 38,
mm,
36, 30, 37. And
I don't. I have to get better at knowing the ages of these people because
well, Ricochet's
in my
definitely been doing
mind
it for a
they're
while.
immortal until they retire from wrestling and then they start getting old.
Yeah, I mean, certain people you can kind of just tell. Like, I remember they're starting to tell us certain things. Like, this match was 20 years ago, and it's like, bro, chill. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm still trying to be youthful, and you over here reminding me that this ride like the whole John Cena and Randy Orton rivalry. Oh, it's been going on for like 20 plus years, right? Oh man, don't remind me of that, dude. What's going on? What are you
It's
doing?
funny. There are certain things that actually feel like it's been that long, and then there are other things that's like, oh, it's really been that long. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Um, I think I was watching something else where they was talking about like another thing that was like almost that many years ago. I can't wait we get to speak of. I can't wait till we get to this freaking backlash. Talking about this real quick because I had posted something on Facebook and I feel like it's freaking hilarious now since we're talking about age and differences. Uh, but before we get off, let's go back to your AEW comments and how you want to pat them on the head.
No, because like so as far as like progression of the stories and just the overall quality of the show that they've been giving recently has been good. I won't say top notch, but it's been doing it for me compared
Mm.
to previous times. Now, I will say I'm with the stories that they kind of have going on and stuff and some of the things that are happening. I'm trying to figure out where they're trying to go with this because like I like seeing the matches, but I feel like they're spinning wheels with this whole situation with the EVPs, the Young Bucks, and
They just want to still
all
be
this.
relevant.
Like it's because it's like what's the story? And it's like they keep they're trying to allude to the fact that they're on John Moxley's side or there's like something going on with them and John Moxley, but it's like what is it? What are we doing with that part?
So we're getting the same equivalent of John Cena and what was selling his soul.
Which that's not the part that we pat on the back about, but
No, I'm just saying, like the equivalent of like, all right, so give us the reason why, and then they never give us the reason why, just like how John Cena never gave us the reason why.
now I also won't say it's that bad.
It's not, but I'm saying it's the equivalent of that. Of like,
Oh,
you jumped in
I
a
wouldn't.
situation we don't know why, and you don't want to tell us why.
Like if 2 plus 2 is 4, then the whole thing with John Cena and Dwayne Johnson, that's like 5 times 5. You know what I'm saying? Like it minuscule in comparison.
Okay,
Absolutely minuscule.
minuscule
Like
is
I
crazy.
because though they're kind of sort of like it's kind of like hanging out to dry, it's not gone because all of the players are still playing in this. And it's like
Okay.
oh, and then this interesting change of heart with Hangman.
Oh yeah, he's
Now
turning
that
babyface.
now that whole like the way he did it and the fact of just I just really enjoyed the fact of him acknowledging the fact that yes, all that shit that happened prior with me and Swerve, yes, that happened. I legitimately tried to kill that man. And the fact that him and Swerve, though like the tension is still there, they've both put themselves in this spot. They're both in a space where they're all like, hey, that shit happened. But my bad. Not sorry, just my fault. Huh?
Being accountable.
That
I mean, like, look,
being accountable. That's the
I
perfect thing to say.
I may have called you a fuck nigga in the back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You know what? I will hold myself. I will hold myself responsible for what has happened. And though there's not going to be any forgiveness in all of this, just know I'm going to attempt to move past and just let it be it. But when Osprey came, and it's so weird because it's like Will Osprey isn't a heel, so it's like a he. It's almost as if like Hangman being the heel is trying to be babyface, but then Osprey came out there and was like, nah, 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 bruv, shut the fuck up and be this fucking heel because fuck you. he just. It's just like Osprey was like, no, no, you don't get to come out here and give this whole song and dance and then be all like, okay, I'm done being a fucking lunatic and losing my mind. I'm gonna take my spot back. No, no, no. Been doing all that stuff while you've been out here having this existential crisis of your mind and whatnot. You don't get to come back. Nah,
Nope.
ain't happening here. I'm just it's so, and I'm also glad that like freaking we're finally moving and doing some things with Osprey. Like things are starting to move in AEW because they were ass and then they were stale for a hot minute. But now they're like, okay, we're gonna try this again and let's see if we can do it right. And I think they're starting. They are in the right direction as far as I'm concerned on that. So I'm like, I tilt my hat off to AEW right now. They're doing it. WWE, oddly so, they're kind of they're in this weird space where they're just trying, like they're in this, they're fixing things. They're trying to fix stuff and make you forget about what happened before. That's what WWE is doing, and I think honestly, I want to say that Backlash kind of fixed it. Like, kind of like it. Backlash has done a good job of being all like, hey, just uh, just look at this as the start and move forward, as opposed to all the dumb shit from WrestleMania and some in like the week and a half after WrestleMania, because a lot of fixing had to be done. But they're doing it. They're doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Are you talking about how they made Backlash a good wrestling pay per view? Maybe not story driven, but at least a good wrestling pay per view.
Correct. Yes, they're trying to make you forget, and sometimes, or at least, funny enough, kind of taking a page out of AEW's book here. When the story is ass, make the wrestling really, really good. And
Okay.
so that hey, AEW, that's their MO, baby. When they start crashing and burning, going into a pay per view, that's why they throw 20 matches in 4 hours of wrestling. So it's all like, see how amazing this wrestling is. Who cares about whatever we was doing on those prior shows and story and stuff? What story? You know,
I will
kick
say
out at
this
two.
much. This much I will say. Tony Storm. Good as hell as always. Cutting promos. That's all I care about was her promo on Collision. Because Dynamite was like, meh, outside of MJF finally hurting someone. That I cared about. I cared about that. But then I also hate when it was like Bobby was like, I'll answer you next week. And it's like, bro, are you fucking kidding me? It's the one trope in wrestling I can't stand. It's like he's literally in front of you. Do it now. I gotta wait next week. Oh, you
Make them
okay?
wait. Make
It's annoying as
'em wait.
fuck. Okay, but outside of AEW, since we were kind of briefly going into Backlash, what are your thoughts about it? Matter of fact, if you want to, give me a lightning round of what you thought about every match at the pay per view. Just lightning round. Spit out your highlights for each match, and then and then we'll kind of both do that way as well.
Let me see if I remember each match that happened. Because there wasn't a whole bunch. But
If
I
you like,
think
I'll go first.
going in order. Well, if we're going in order, the Fatal 4-Way match, number one, Drew McIntyre is absolutely valid in everything that he says. I don't know why it had to be a Fatal 4-Way. Like, like the, but nonetheless, um, honestly, the match was okay.
Oh, there's
Uh,
no breaks.
damn, that's how you feel. But
Mm.
it's like, nah,
You
the
didn't see
match
the
was
promo
okay.
he did?
No, I missed that then.
Oh, yeah, no, motherfucker. Drew McIntyre's face. We did the all gas, no breaks. And he looked like that motherfucker's eyes, bro. I posted it in
Oh,
the
oh, he was
Facebook.
out. Oh, he was clowning.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'll
not
send it
like
to you in a second.
not like the first match was okay, especially going into it with everything that's kind of been going on and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Like, I mean, everybody's cool. I feel as if what's that man's name? Goddamn, Damian Priest. I feel like is like in this weird space where it's just like he is unfortunately living up to the name of being a main event jobber right now. Like he's
All right. I love his intro to his fucking thing. That shit's like cold blooded. I'm like, bro, this is
it's
the rawest
okay.
motherfucker. This is the rawest motherfucker coming outside, and then you see the lights, and it's like, oh, it's Damian Priest.
Bam, he is his entrance is a combination of Kane and Undertaker. He's got the fire and stuff like that in the beginning, and then he goes with a little bit of the purple and stuff. But it's like he's so I don't know. I like him. Don't get me wrong. I
Yeah,
like me some
same.
Damian Priest, but I feel
Pause.
like Damian Priest has not found his place. He's like in this weird limbo
Mm-hmm.
of spots.
How
Like
about Drew McIntyre almost set LA Knight on fire?
yeah, no, that was I fucks with it. Like
Yeah, wow.
hell yeah,
I I love
hell
how
yeah.
LA Knight is trying to be Stone Cold with how he cuz let me talk to you. Not saying that phrase itself, but like how he be just his verbal debates or his verbal giving his opponent the shit. It's very Stone Cold esque, and I'm like, I see
I
what you're
mean,
doing
but
there.
I mean, listen. We've all known that he's been on this kind of like he's kind of got this Stone Cold slash The Rock, cadence.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, it's good. Like he's
Yeah,
actually good with it. It's
yeah,
not. It's not. It's one of those things like it's a comparison, but at heart, he's not that.
yeah.
But
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 yes,
yeah,
lightning round.
overall, and then like the them bringing in this what's his name
Oh, that's Jeff Cobb. And then I was like, wait, Jeff Cobb is Filipino. He's not fucking Samoan.
no, but him and him and Jacob got history, so like a lot of history. Like them
He
niggas
looked
have
like it
like
was an
killed
ex
each other.
boyfriend he met. Like, what the fuck you doing here, bro? I used to be that. I'm not that anymore.
I mean, comparatively speaking, like as far as like the look and the reference, kind of, because like I said, him and Jacob, they go deep. What I've come to see and learn,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah, I do.
at the same time, also I'm like, but why? But that whole match, that whole bit was whole lot of but whys for me.
Yeah,
So
it made
we'll see where
it,
that
it
goes.
showed because with the whole like spot with Drew and Damien, got them off screen because it made everybody else focus on Jeff Cobb, and then two, one of them might have got injured. We don't know fully who it is yet, but one of them might have got injured from that spot.
So there's that. Then I think the match after that was the females match.
Yeah, Becky and Valkyrie.
Yo, Valkyria was fighting her ass off last night, man. Fighting her ass off. Like she was fighting for her effing life, man. And it paid off.
Yep.
And considering how this feud started, because it started off very weak in my opinion.
The
But
turn made it threw me off because how she was, oh, what are you doing? And it's like, bro, like, okay, sell it. Like, you're not selling it. Like, what are you doing?
yeah, MS was funny. But but this in comparison, where the story was the match,
Mm-hmm.
made the story be like, all right, I guess it was fine for it to be ass. However, it's not over, so we're going to see where it goes. But overall, that was a really good match. Good shit.
I will admit,
Now, after that, what was it?
Pat McAfee and Gunther.
Was that the next one, or was it an Intercontinental match? I mean, regardless to go if I'm going out
No,
of order,
yeah, it doesn't matter.
but regardless of going out of order, Gunther and Pat McAfee, I hated it.
Really?
I hated it for what it kind of. I hated it for what it showed. The wrestling was fun. It wasn't bad. Pat McAfee wrestled his ass off and put on a good show. But that's not what I was. That's not what I expected. That's not what I wanted. Then Michael Cole got involved. I'm like, okay, all right. And it was like, if Michael Cole got involved, Pat McAfee should have just fucking won at that point. When they did the grab the legs and
Yeah,
Pat
that part did
McAfee,
piss me off. It was kind of like
and
normally
then they
when
kicked
you do
out.
that
I'm like,
spot, it's done. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, but it didn't happen. And then it for it to end with Gunther choking him, and then we waiting for Pat McAfee to get back to his feet, and Gunther just be all like, "Not bad," and then leave. What are y'all doing?
I will admit, I did kind of mark out a little bit whenever he was in the sleeper and he started getting up. I said, "Oh shit, we still got more of this match. We still got probably 5 more minutes. You know, I'm with it. Come on, Pat. Come on, Pat." And then he put his ass back down. I was like, what was that for then? He could have just blacked out. Why did you do that?
Right. Absolute We are really out here. This is the ring general. And this is one of those it's remember how Gunther was all like, "You have my attention now. I'm going to beat you very, very badly."
It really should have been somewhat of a
Bringing,
squash
bringing,
match.
doing the whole thing. It's like you got a daughter and a wife, just had a birthday and all this other stuff. And like, why we bring up these things and make it sound like we're going to do some goddamn Hangman Adam Page esque shit in the ring and don't deliver. Like Gunther went out there and looked like Pat McAfee was almost evenly matched. Like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It should have been a squash. It really should have been a squash.
absolutely. What are we doing with Gunther? Gunther is a monster of a man.
I
He
don't know,
is.
man. He used just like how we used to have the monster among men here, and now he gone. Don't put monster next to motherfuckers now, because apparently monsters are getting dropped.
Wow, we really out here killing monsters, huh? Like we really out here killing monsters.
Yeah, bro, they
Like I
kaiju killers. They're
like in my
Power
mind.
Rangers.
Oh God, kaiju, fam. That is such a you saying that and putting it next to Power Rangers is like, damn, that's really what they was though. They really was kaiju killers. That's for the greater good though, but but still,
And I'm not
but
lying though.
fucking kaiju killers. I love it. I love that. But but like I just feel I don't like what they're doing to Gunther right now. I
I
don't
don't
know
blame
if
you.
we're trying to I don't know if we're trying to humanize Gunther so he can like I feel like as if like Gunther was in the main event and then they've now like this match like in my like putting it like in a like in one of those like fighting game perspectives, he dropped
Mm-hmm.
2 ranks in my opinion.
Oh,
This
so in the
match dropped,
ranking system, okay.
yeah, even though he won the match because he did win, he lost XP, he lost points for this because like he's it's like they're trying to push him into the main card scene now. Like they brought him up and they're like, let me see how he looks here. And I feel like someone's like, I don't like it. Put him in a Continental US title. Just keep him down there. Please. Please.
Put him back in the mid card range.
Yeah. Let's let him get beat by like fucking Dominic Mysterio or something. Like,
That's
you
crazy.
know. I know. It fucking is. Going into that match, however, that was a good match. That was great.
The Dominic
No
Mysterio Penta
complaints.
one, or
Yes, Dominic Mysterio and Penta, everything about that match was perfect. Like everything fits, everything made sense unlike the last match I was talking about. And Penta's still strong and Dominic is still a dirtbag. And so I'm and then we also got the big American. So it's like we got everything.
Which to me
Nothing.
pissed me off. It was like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Remember, the big American wants to expose these luchadors, these
But
masked vigilantes.
okay, so I'm about to say, when you say luchador, technically Damien is not Damien, excuse me, Dominic is a luchador.
Yes, he is a luchador, but he is on the right side of history, as they say. And so, and
That's
so
crazy.
I'm interested to see because now I do know because when we was on earlier, you was asking me what was on my phone. Adam Pierce was talking, and apparently Penta and the Big American are going to be facing each other on Raw.
All over
So
again. It's like his debut match again. Oh wait, no, that was with Chad Gable.
yeah, similar but different
Mm-hmm.
people.
Yeah, apparently bullshit. Anyway, and then finally we got main event time.
So I've had the privilege of watching this match 3 times now, not on purpose, not on purpose. So I watched Backlash. I was actually at a wrestling event. I'll post pictures of it later. Yesterday. But I was at a wrestling event, and then like once the wrestling event was over, I turned on the phone and I was watching Backlash. So when I got back home, we just continued watching Backlash, and then as we're watching the main event, some of the wrestlers from the event were like, "Hey, you want to come through and watch the rest of Backlash with us? We just started it over," and we're all like, "Sure, we'll come through." And so by the time we got there, however, we watched the main event with them as well because we're all like, we're just there to hang out. We don't need to watch the show per se all over again. So we watched the main event again. And then afterwards, because I did not see the first match when I came home and I was just doing stuff, you know, till the wee hours of the night, I put the show on again because I still didn't see the first match, which
Mm-hmm.
was with Jacob Fatu and all them.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I watched that, but I didn't turn it off. So I let it play through the whole show again. Therefore, I ended up watching the main event one more time. Now, I did not watch it all those times because I just loved it so much, if that's what you was thinking.
Hold up, but it was a good fucking match.
But it was a good match. It was a good match, and then, unlike all of the matches prior, with an exception of the Intercontinental title match and everything, uh,
Okay, so you
this
said the
match.
IC title was the match of the night.
No, 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 no. No, 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 not by a long shot.
So who was match of the night to you then?
Match of the night? Ooh. On a pure wrestling perspective, I actually have to give it to the Intercontinental title match. Because
So then,
Lyra
yeah.
Valkyria was fighting her ass
Oh,
off.
you mean the women's intercontinental title match? Okay, you gotta make sure it's two different.
Yes.
You gotta make sure it's two different ones on the same card. You know what I'm saying? So when you said IC
Sorry.
title, yeah.
Oh, yeah. IC title. Like Lyra Valkyria fighting
Mm-hmm.
her ass off. But the thing that I was the thing that I was getting at was, unlike all the other matches, with the exception of Dominic's match, the build up and the story leading to it, everyone else's were pretty garbage, except for Dom's. And then going into the main event, the build up for this one, great. Like the story that was kind of told and what they've now forced into our brains, pushing out the Dwayne Johnson narrative. Like I after with the story that they told and then the match that we got, I think we're finally where we need to be with John Cena. And now I know I personally can really start watching and just enjoying it and not feeling bitter. I'm a bitter ass nigga. I'll be honest with you. And
Mm,
that whole Dwayne Johnson shit, like because I keep bringing it up, you can tell like no, I'm still mad about it. I'm still mad about it. But
you and everybody
I'm
else.
but I'm getting over it. Slowly but surely, we're getting over it. I'm building the bridge. I got enough material. After this last match, I got enough materials. We have the funding to pay for the workers. We can build this bridge and we can finally get over it. And so, this
I feel
match,
like you had that stored up and saved for just the rainy day when that situation is convenient for you to bring that up. I feel like you stored that shit.
no, not completely. Not completely.
Mm.
I'm pretty fast with it sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Okay.
But you like that shit, right? Yeah, good promo stuff. I've been working on it. Been working. But the the actual match in regards to a John, it was really interesting with it, this John Cena versus Randy Orton, this bad John Cena versus the, I would say, the pseudo good Randy Orton, because at the end of the day, and I love how they did this, Randy Orton is still fucking Randy Orton. All right,
Yes.
like
He
he's
will
not gonna,
arcade you no matter who you are.
like he like there was a point where it was like, I think John Cena, yeah, in the very beginning of the match, John Cena thrown him in the eye, and Randy Orton's like, bitch. He's just, fan,
Yes.
that tickled me. It's all like Randy Orton's like, yeah, no, you don't get to play those games with me. I'm not Cody. I'll kick you in the skull. Fuck you nuts.
But I kick in the dick. Yeah, I
Pause.
kick in the dick.
It's like,
Yay.
and so now here's where,
The bullshit comes. All right, yeah, because that's what I'm about to hear. Because that was a good fucking match overall. But just go ahead, give it to me. Pause.
because I'm not blind to it. And after seeing it 2 times, the first time I felt differently. But after watching it a second time, I'm like, okay, guys, finishers don't mean shit anymore.
No,
They really don't.
no,
And it saddens me.
yeah.
These false finishes. And I'm talking like John Cena, I think on three or four separate occasions, literally gave him the attitude adjustment and pinned him immediately. 3 different times. And he kicks out at 2 to proceed through the rest of the match. I'm just like, come on. Like, come on. And it's not like they were like, there was no rhyme or reason, no like yay, nay. It just happened. It's just kick out at 2, kick out at 2,
You do have
kick
to
out at 2,
remember that AA is a
kick
fisherman
out at
carry.
2. Yes, but just because, listen,
I know, I know.
don't do that. I mean,
I
the
mean,
tombstone is
wait.
just
Just let's not.
a
Let's.
reverse pile driver.
I know. If anything, RKO. He RKO'd him like what 4 times in that match.
Yes. Yes.
And didn't you? And
Now,
it's his issue. I'm like Orton. Like, didn't you like? Weren't you like gone forever for a while because you kept doing the RKO so much, and you had to get back surgery stuff done, and you just
see, that's not even the part that I'm thinking about. No. The part that I'm like, the two most, I'm sorry, forgive me, I can't spell. The 3 most devastating letters in sports entertainment. The most deadliest 3 letters to be right next to each other. And John Cena kicked out of them like they were just swinging neck breakers. Like, bruh. If they're deadly, either John Cena has built up an immunity to your venom, or maybe they're just not as deadly as they should be. And I hate it. Now, one could argue that statement for both of them. They've been attitude adjusting and RKOing each other for what was it, 23 years now?
Bro, you was
But
not gonna
like,
slide by this Venom comment, bro. That was a good one.
but like, and maybe I need to talk to a wrestler who believes in these false finishes to help it make sense to me. Like, because it's not being made sense to me right now. And let it be known, prior to this, at first I thought after watching it the first time, I felt like these false finishes were justified. Okay, that was me watching it with the rose-colored glasses of seeing a really good Randy Orton and John Cena match. All right, then watching it the second time, and then watching it that second time under the influence because we was partying, and it's like this is like the third time he did that to him, and he went straight for the pin. It's a normal move, like, and I feel in my mind the only thing that would make it okay, which I can give some of the guys in AEW credit for. When we be doing these false finishes, at least some of those guys, one of the famous ones that come to mind being the neighborhood Billy Goat himself, at least he's got like 4 different finishers that he can do where it's all like he does one, damn, that didn't work. He does another one, well, damn, that didn't work. Well, I guess it's time to Tiger drive him through the mat. There we go. That one did it. And, that, at least we have that. But it's like, we're just RKOing and just attitude adjusting. And then it was
He
like,
could have.
how dare you? I don't even want to talk about it no more, man. But aside from the false finishes and the fact that WWE is like biting AEW even though they're not competition, but now we're going to just start doing stuff like AEW because they're actually competition, but we want to see if we could do it better, which there's no doing multiple false 15 false finishes is not doing it better. That's doing it just like the people who are not as good as you. Okay, but that's just me. But overall, Backlash, it was a solid B pay-per-view.
Lightning round for me, I could definitely say Jacob Fatu match, really good starter, really great opening, um, high high energy, great spots. I like the Damien and Drew spot, and again Jeff Cobb coming in. I was just like, you better not tell me he's part of the bloodline because fans will immediately be, and we don't want to make this a racial thing or anything like that or an ethnicity
No, no,
thing.
no, no. It's okay because the bloodline is everybody unless Jeff Cobbs is married into the family.
He's not. He's nothing. He's not connected to the family. None.
Exactly. That's why it's like it's okay because what was it? A
Sammy.
good example. That's not a good example.
I mean, he was brought into the family.
Stop it. Not Sammy. I'm talking Naomi, all right? Blood wise, no, she's not Samoan. However, she is acknowledged as being part of the family because she's married into it. Okay?
Who is she married
Honorable
to? Who is
mention.
he married to? Jacob? What the fuck? Who the fuck? I don't know. There's nobody. Nobody he was
Yes.
married to. Who's Jeff married to?
No, no. Bro, you got me busted right now.
Oh!
No.
Yo, yo, nah, flag on the play, bro. Nah, flag on the play. Oh, nah.
Bro, I'm gonna need you to take your foot off the gas and apply brakes real quick. Cause you're
Nah, you know what I mean? Nah, nah, that's
Oh,
crazy.
hell. All I was not saying that he
Pure
was
cinema.
part of the bloodline at all. The point that I was trying to make is the fact that unless they was going to prove that he was a part of it, the only thing that I'm seeing is happening right now. Oh gosh, you almost completely threw off what I was trying to explain with that spew of words that you just did.
We just not. No,
Like,
you say it. That was you.
no, because you're over. I'm going off the fact of when I'm talking about the because you're all like, how is he in the bloodline, who is he married to, and like the three names that you rattled off were dudes. I'm like, what are you trying to
I only
say
said
here?
one. I said who? I said
Like,
who is it? Is it Jake? Like who the fuck is? Because like when you said that, I'm thinking like, okay, who is he married to in the family? Because to my knowledge, I didn't. Anyway,
no,
let's move past that. We had the moment. Get to what you was trying to say at the end of the day.
what I was saying is the fact that, like, because going off the whole deal with him, whether if he's being a part of the family, I don't think he's a part of the family. If anything, I think he's about to be a hired gun to take out Jacob because Solo's tired of Jacob doing what Jacob's been doing. Because Jacob's been very defiant to the old tribal. Well, yeah,
Well,
I can say that,
he
the
said he
old
loves
tribal.
him though. He said, "I love
Yes,
you, Jacob." So he
yes,
acknowledges
but at the same,
him.
he though he says that, he's also says the fact that, listen, I'm doing me right now, and I don't need none of y'all's help. Like, they've he they've been, which that whole storyline's been a little weird and wishy washy, but it's like they've been slowly, like, Jacob's been like falling out of the fold here.
I don't like that though because it's like not saying he needs them, but it's like him solo is just another Braun.
No, no, no. Hold on now. I don't think that. It's a pretty heavy statement
What
to
I'm
make.
saying in a sense is like a big man out there, unless you go put him in the title picture, which he's not gonna beat Cena, and he's not gonna beat Jay right now. So it's like, why separate him?
Separating because he ultimately doesn't need them. He doesn't need them. He doesn't need the bloodline. He's bad on his own.
They need him because without Jacob, who is the bloodline? It damn sure ain't Solo right now. Solo don't got no fucking wins. He's taking the pins.
That's why we got cops.
Yeah. Anyway, so match was
Watch.
okay. Match was okay. Um, Becky Lynch, she's always been a great wrestler to me. She grows on me the more and more I watch her. And Valkyria, apparently I think she cracked her nose at the end or something like that, so she toughed that one out. Pure cinema that match.
Fight for her life.
Pure cinema. Gunther Pat, I enjoyed the match. I did not like how Pat got up from the sleeper to break out to not continue the match. I was like, all right, I'm cool. Let's see what happens. But I want this last few minutes to be like a Gunther be like a and just go like in like really hurt Pat. I want it to be like Pat like he like thumped him in the eye and that just like turned Gunther into the Hulk and he just violates that motherfucker.
And that was actually another thing, because they had like this super extended thing at the end where they're standing there and they're all looking at each other, and Michael Cole is standing next to Pat like he's Krillin, and with next to Goku, and then what's his name was all like, "You're fine," and this, that, and the other, like, and then he leaves, and then we focus on Pat and Michael Cole in the ring, just fucking diddle daddling, standing around, because it's not like he won. But we focus so much on Pat McAfee, and we watch Pat McAfee walk up the ramp and all this other stuff, and it's just like, but why? Like, and then it was like, that was it. There was Like we didn't even get Gunther to even explain his shit in the goddamn like after show. Like just
Nope.
he's gone. Like in my mind, I'm like, because when I'm sitting here, I'm like, all right, and okay, Pat McAfee turned around and Gunther's going to attack now. No, no, okay, all right. So Pat McAfee's rocking up the ramp and Gunther blindsides him. No, no, that doesn't happen. Oh, okay.
None of that Jay Uso type shit where he leaves the arena and it comes back and smacks him upside the head. None of that at all.
Listen, I'm with. Listen, all the way. I even stayed up extra late to watch like the freaking after show thing. I'm like, all right,
Mm-hmm.
maybe like while they're doing their little after show stuff and talking, they're gonna like check on Pat McAfee, and then Gunther's gonna get him. Oh, the show went off. So nothing's happened. So nothing happens. Nothing happens. Gunther just lets it. After talking all that shit,
Not the arms folded, my guy. Not the arms folded, bro. Over here pouting and shit.
hell,
Good match, stupid outcome. That's what I'm gonna say. Good match, stupid outcome. Penta and the Dominic, it's Penta all day, no matter what. That blue was cold.
icy, dripping.
I don't even rock blue like that, but I was like, I'm gonna need that blue mask. I'm gonna need that.
100%.
And so match was great. Goofy outcome. Still kept everybody strong. Made sense to the story. And then you get the John Cena and Orton match. I had a blast. It honestly, out of the dumpster fires of matches they've had previous years, this was one of the best ones. As much as the dumb finishes, man, the dumb usage of the supers and the finishing moves, uh, I really enjoyed this match. Really enjoyed it. I was definitely taken on the ride. I was kind of mad though. I kind of felt like at the end of the match when Cena was on the turnbuckle, it was just gonna show his next opponent. He was like, "And there's no one that's better than me," or something like that. He pulls up the belt. I'm thinking like somebody's music's about to hit. I'm like,
Like Brock Lesnar or something.
yeah, like something, and then like, nope. So where you felt with the Gunther situation, that was me here. I was like, so why did you do that, John? Did you just like wanted to get in your character a little bit more, or like I'm thinking,
I think with the whole stopping the music and stuff like that. Listen, with him stopping the music like that. Listen, I'm waiting for John Cena to come out there just no music. That's what I'm waiting for. Like just he come out there as like the music starts to play, and then he's like cut the music, and then he walk, and then he just walks out with no music type thing. Now, granted, he'd be biting off my boy Dolph Ziggler a little bit because Dolph Ziggler did that shit, but you know, it's all good.
you
Gotta
remember that
bite the
cat
bullet
dog?
sometimes.
We remember that cat dog thing is that you stay here forever. I just cut it, cut the music. Um, but overall, Backlash was a fun ride for like me and how crazy my yesterday was to watch that at the end of it all. It was a great spectacle. Enjoyed myself, and we'll see what happens next pay per view. But we've gone an hour deep in. I really want to dive into the actual questions that we normally have because we'll talk about the wild weekend of wrestling, and we probably missed some topics in particular, some of the juicy ones. But I do want to also revisit certain topics we did from last week. So as of this week, I know you said you had to go back and revise your list. Did you change it? Did you update it?
I sure did.
Okay. So what is it
Only,
now?
only, only a little bit. Just
Okay.
because, like, because I went and I listened to a couple songs. I even tried to see if I could find out if there was anything else that I was missing that should have been. And so, going from top to bottom, yeah, going from the top to bottom. It's Kane, Brood. and then Shinsuke. Beer Money being fourth place. But now my new fifth place is Dean Malenko's WWE theme.
Mm-hmm.
And then after Dean Malenko's WWE thing is Matt Hardy V1
Okay.
because
Okay.
those definitely had to be there.
Okay. Okay.
Because and so Chris Benoit, Asuka, Goldust, Big Show, Christian Cage, and then wait, was that
That's
it? No.
11. That's 11. That's 11.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah. So no, that's the top 10.
Okay.
That so
Okay.
then, so that's
Minus
where so
Christian
the top
Cage.
10.
Yeah.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
that
Christian Cage will
mine's
be
Christian
11.
Cage. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. That's because once again he was 10, but then those changes, and so it was like Yokozuna did get in there, but then ended up
Wait, was
getting
he?
pushed
Did you
out.
put it back in the 10?
No, he got bumped down
Oh.
because yeah. Wait,
Damn.
it's wait, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9, 10. So yeah, because of those other additions that I ended up putting in there, Christian Cage got bumped down.
Mm.
And Big Show barely made it himself. So like,
Mm.
because
Well.
originally to finish off like the last little bit of that list, it would have been Christian Cage, then Ember Moon, then Yokozuna, and then Test at the very bottom there. And so, but I think this now how it is the more solid. Like I don't think it changes from here.
Sticking to the topic of music real quick. All right. And this technically is connected music, technically not. Who's Titantron? Growing up outside of Kane, because I already know what the fuck he's about to say. Who's Titantron to you was like, yo, that shit's fire?
Kane's was legitimate fire. You know,
This
that's a odd thing because like I didn't pay a whole lot of like because Titantrons as time went on, like stopped being cool and creative. I
that's what I'm
think
saying. I
the most
literally go ahead, sorry.
recent the most recent cool Titantron that I noticed and saw was Brunson Reed. Like when Brunson Reed came back as like he because like his Titantron is like it's him walking through a city on some King Kong or Godzilla type shit. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, that's dope. That is solid.
Yeah,
But
and
like,
the reason why I brought that up is because the Titantron is a lost relic of wrestling. You can look at a Titantron for a wrestler and it could tell you everything about him without having to tell your person because God forbid now if I go to a wrestling show, Javon Evans, his name, that's it. So then
mm-hmm.
a person who doesn't watch wrestling and you take them with you, and they're like, "Who the fuck is Javon Evans?" The Titantron will tell you everything you need to know. Everything.
It does. It did because number one, in a Titantron, usually you got a clear image of what the character looks like and kind of like them acting in their character. You would get their name, and then you would also kind of get an idea of kind of like their theme, kind of like what they kind of what they're about, what they do. And then you got clips of them doing their finishes and their signature moves.
So you know when it happens in a fucking match. Because
So it's
half the
like,
people
yeah,
don't know.
boy, like AEW could really benefit from some good Titantrons.
Bruh.
Cause Lord knows. But yeah, no, I really can't think. I mean, honestly, if it ain't Kane, favorite Titantron might go to Goldust. But the thing is, Titantrons and the theme songs back then they went hand in hand.
That's what I'm saying. I also just again wanted to go to a little bit of a nostalgia trip because that's just me. But I think the Titantron started becoming a relic after I want to say the reality era. I think the reality era is when they started kind of going with just the name. I think. Because did Daniel Bryan still have one?
He did. Yeah,
So was anybody new after that? I think
he
anybody
did
new
at
coming from that.
first. Like, now what is because what is the reality era considered? Is that from
When
like
Daniel Bryan won the title.
okay, so that time frame, the mid 20 like in between like 2011 and like 2018. So
Yeah,
right before COVID.
yeah.
That's
It's kind
fair.
of when NXT started getting good.
Gotcha. No, yeah, that okay. So like 2014,
Mm-hmm.
2013, 2014
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
area. Ugh, I can't think of actually when you say that, that actually really kind of puts a pin on it because like I'm thinking of people from that time and like trying to remember what their Titantrons looked like, and it's like they didn't have like because like now in my mind I'm thinking about other people's Titantrons that I do remember. Like I remember Bobby Lashley had a dope Titantron and fucking clotheslining and dropping dudes and his and all this other stuff. Like,
He's been doing that for years.
mm,
I give him that. He's never stopped that taunt.
listen, stuck to it. So that's that you gotta do that. But like, yeah, like, because Titantrons now are kind of boring.
I would
Like I
say
said,
one
the
of them that
coolest.
was goaded was the Hardy Boys. Always,
Oh, always. Hell yeah.
always Hardy
Like
Boys
you,
was
you
goaded.
said that, and I'm like looking at my top 10 list and trying to. I'm looking at my top 10 list. And I'm trying to remember the Titantrons that went with them, and some of them are like Shinsuke Nakamura. There was no Titantron. Like there was no clips of him doing his finish or anything like that.
Yeah,
Beer Money's Titantron was okay from what I can remember.
yeah, it was
Dean
nothing
Malenko's
crazy.
was dope. Dean Malenko's was dope
It
because it
had
was
the
like this
bitches on it.
freaking club. It
Yeah,
was like this
it had no,
nightclub
it had no
situation.
Dean Malenko. It's just bitches.
You would have like quick flashes of his face. And there is one clip of Dean Malenko like in a suit at the club in the video. And that was another thing because it was like the Titantron used to give wrestlers that extra bit of personality that it gives that extra bit of personality that sometimes you don't get to see. Like going back to like Evolution's Titantron, right? It was like, the clips of them walking down the road with the suits on and stuff like that. They're getting out the planes, coming out the limo, and this, that, and the other. And it's like the Titantrons used to tell a story. Used to quickly tell a story that you don't have enough time sometimes to tell in the ring.
Yeah,
And
and that is the dying art. That is it, unfortunately. But as just like we was making these lists, I was looking at so many Titantron. Like Test Titantron was dope.
yes.
Big Boss Man's Titantron was dope to me. It's kind of one of the reasons why I even did that trend for a little bit, where I was doing the like SmackDown 2 entrances, where I would walk just like them behind the green screen.
Oh
I had
God,
so much fun doing
yes.
those shits. It was like angle from angle from angle. I was like, I gotta get the same exact walk and because they all did the same walk.
SmackDown 2. Absolute
Oh man,
fucking chef's kiss.
I wanted to do
Freaking
more of them.
SmackDown 2 was such a cool game. And then like the story mode for SmackDown 2, like I would wish to go back to play SmackDown 2 and do the story mode because it was like it felt SmackDown 2, the way that it played the story mode like you was watching episodes of wrestling.
That and
Cause there'd
also
be
somewhat GMO too, somewhat.
times because like actually yeah a little bit because there'd be times where you'll play because like damn now that you really said that it kind of did have that it had a small element of it just because of the fact that if you wanted to you could play the other matches.
And you can simulate them, which is always the fun. Da-na-na-na-na-na. You see the bar moving and shit. Like, who the
Yeah.
fuck is gonna win?
Oh my yeah. I
That's
forgot about that.
and you're like, oh shit.
Oh
It'd
wow.
be like The Rock versus like Bully Ray or something like that, Bubba Ray Dudley. And you're like, man, ain't no fucking way The Rock about to lose. Oh shit, Bully. Bad.
Damn, that mess would be wild. Yes. Oh man, that I forgot about that piece.
Yeah,
That
man.
that that took me. That one took me back for me. Cause oh damn. Nah, see, oh gosh. That was a fun game.
Yeah, it was, man. It was.
See
It's
now,
honest.
see now, now as you done did that to me. Now I want to like. Now I'm about to turn on my PlayStation 5 and play the wrestling game,
I
which is
might
actually
actually
something
watch
I've been
somebody
thinking
play
about
the Smack.
doing.
I might actually watch somebody play the SmackDown versus SmackDown 2 story mode in general. Because the best thing we always remember you stomping their ass out.
So
Just random, just stomp out. Just
you
stomping them
know
the
it's
fuck
funny
out.
because like they're very because like so whenever I used to play, I'd always play as Kane on the game, but it was like when I think back to like the story modes when I said the fact that like it almost felt like he was playing and watching like a real episode of like SmackDown or something, because there'd be times where your character won't be on the card for that night, and your character won't have something, or your character will have a match, but there's no story for your character. And because of the times back then, like because there was no talking in the game.
Yeah, like so when they would do a promo and it'd be just like that background music, like The Rock is cutting a promo. And that would just be it, and you just your imagination.
Well, what was it?
Y'all gotta look that up now.
Yeah,
Y'all gotta look that up.
bro, we used to do that all the time.
Oh my god. Oh, let me see. Let me see. Let me see
Oh,
if I can find that shit. Oh my god.
oh man, yep, SmackDown too. Oh man, good stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But yes, we say all that is because again, the original conversation was Titantrons. Oh, also, remember whenever somebody would get mad?
Oh, this,
Like, what the
fam,
fuck is this?
fam, those graphics back then, undefeated,
Absolutely.
undefeated with the movements and everything. Just oh man, that
Mm.
was goes to show how much we goddamn played that shit, right?
Hold on, wait. I think I found one. Hold on. I think I found one. It's whenever they have a conversation. Oh,
Oh yeah, with the backstage conversation,
yeah.
and because the thing that I did that was like whenever they be on the mic and when they finished it,
Hold on, wait. I see Jeff Hardy's doing a promo right now. He's huh. Yo. Yeah. Oh wait, no. And then also somebody will
yeah,
run up to the ropes. Get on the rope. That.
peak
Oh
games,
my
ladies and
god.
gentlemen,
Yes,
peak
yes.
peak peak wrestling right there.
Peak wrestling. And I hate to be that nostalgic about it, but man, it was just something about like they would take the storylines that's already going through and make you play through them again, which were really cool because now you get to do it the way you wanted to do it. Again, that's why I say it feels like GMO because while you have this narrative of what the story is, Triple H did it. Triple H did it. But you, bitch. Um, you had those moments where you could kind of change the story. Like, okay, Stone Cold's supposed to be coming, yes, but there was a title match, and technically, your opponent is going to be harder because you're not supposed to win. But if you won, it was like, oh shit, you actually did it. Good fucking job. The story will alternate a little bit, but we're still gonna stay on program.
That was actually, you saying that makes me actually go to No Mercy. No
Oh,
Mercy, I loved how No Mercy kind of did that, where
you know, when they get
they
mad and
talk
shit.
all bad and shit. But like No Mercy, because it's funny because I feel as if like probably to this day I don't think I've probably ever seen like all of the possible different endings for different stories in No Mercy, because there were certain there'd be certain tracks where it'd be like you'll have a match and it'll literally say you can win or lose this match depending on what happens when you win or lose will depend on this motherfucker right now.
Hey, that motherfucker too cool on, bro.
Oh, yeah, it's so goofy, I swear. But oh, I messed up on mic here. Whoop, there you go.
Oh, you
But
good? You
like
good?
they depending on like what, because there are certain matches where it's like depending on whether if you win or lose will depend on which way the story goes. And then there are also certain spots where it'll be like depending on if you say yes to this person or no to this person will depend on how the story goes, kind of thing. And I know back when I was playing the game, it never registered to me about the fact like, what the alternate ending choice would look like. Now sometimes they still led to the same goal type thing. But it was like in the like there's certain parts where it's like you can go this way or this way, and then depending on how you did or how it moved or how it changed will depend on if you even get the title match or if the title match changes. And just thinking on that, one of the most memorable matches to me, and hopefully I'm not fogging it up too badly, but it's a match that you have to win. And I also think this particular match, I want to say, like, when you fight this match, you unlock the character too, but you have to fight freaking Cactus Jack.
Oh, yeah, bro. Because he kept reversing everything. Like you would grab and
Fam,
fuck off me, bitch.
Cactus Jack in that cage match, I I vividly remember passing the controller back and forth trying to beat the because that's how we used to do things. If we were playing a single player game and both of us wanted to play, we would play up until a point where one gets stuck, and it's like if you lose, pass control to the other person, see if they can beat them, and if they can't beat them,
That's
control it
that.
back over.
That is another relic of gaming that is no longer a possibility now. Because at the same time, back in the day, you used to hang out with your homie. You be at the house, you spend the whole day doing that shit. Doing that now is so multiplayer. There's so many options of like, well, you on your other screen or this, like this, the LAN capability of playing a game like that. Like even Sonic Adventures Battle 2 now. I can just literally give you my parsec and you can play from here and be like, all right, word, take control. It's your turn. You go for me. It's not that nature of passing the controller and being in the same space. But yeah,
You know,
forgotten.
you bringing that up reminded me how there was a time where, which actually I honestly think, and it's only just because I have not went back and played the game, but I think to this day, I personally have never beaten Crazy Gadget.
I could no, you had to. It was never always just me.
So, well, I the I've never gone back to try and play it. I think actually would be the better thing to say, because like once you beat it, because I always had, it was always an E rank, because I remember you beat it and figured it out, and you beat it and figured it out when I literally I was going to Sunday school, and you weren't going because you didn't have church
Oh.
clothes. And so
Mm.
when I came back from Sunday, because the night prior we were stuck and we couldn't figure it out. And by the time I came back home from Sunday school, you was all like, "Bro, I figured it out and I beat it," and we was able to progress through the rest of the game. But because I always had that saved memory card, anytime I would play the game,
You didn't
I
have to worry about
I
it.
just I just didn't have to play it. And because like then after it was like the second thing you had to do was you
The
have to like
rings.
get 100 rings, and then it was save the chow, which when you have to save the chow, when you get to that very last part of the level where it's the weird puzzle shit, right? You don't have to do the puzzle. You just go to where the mystical melody box was, and you would get it. And then after the save the
Time
chow
trial.
one, there was like the
Time trial.
was it
You
time
had to
trial?
beat it. You had to beat it. You have to beat it in a certain time frame, and then after that, it's very hard mode.
And I don't remember doing. I think I remember trying to do the time trial, and I couldn't do it. And I was like, you know what? We're gonna save Crazy Gadget for last. There's so many other things that I could be doing. And so
Yeah.
I literally went and played the rest of the game, and I never ended up getting all A's because I just never consistently played it. Now, unfortunately, that memory card's gone. But yeah, like I've personally never beat Crazy Gadget because
I could have sworn you have. That's crazy.
maybe now it is possible that I may have, but I've only done it once if that was the case. Because
Mm.
fuck that.
We've done that a lot in our years where we'll play a game or like watch the other person play the game because it's just sometimes just being in the just hanging out with your homie. You know what I'm saying? Like these are still moments like you see me play Chrono Trigger so many fucking times now. It's damn near know how to play the game and you never played the game. That's how many
Listen,
times you see me play that shit.
peak gaming. You can't game like that nowadays anymore.
Nah, not anymore. Unfortunately, unless you're streaming it. But going back to the original topic. So, are you just going with Hardy Boys? Or you not? Or are you going with just Gold Dust?
I think honestly, Gold Dust is the only one that really sticks out, just because of the theatrics of it all and all the things that you would see and how it looked and everything. Like, because I mean, Brock Lesnar was also kind of cool, just because
Which
just him
version? Because you got the when he first came in,
original.
he dun, 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 that where he just
Yeah, yeah.
the whole time and shit,
Well, that was in there, but it was mostly him clotheslining the shit out of
or
people.
power bombing the fuck out of Spike Dudley, which
Yeah.
that is another conversation I'm gonna have before we close it today. Um, but Spike Dudley, man, God, I think we had a brief conversation about this, like Spike Dudley versus Mick Foley. Who is the crazier son of a bitch?
In the sense of, hey, listen, I want you to like literally throw me on concrete,
Which they
please.
both done. They both done.
Like, it's hard to say. But the thing is, I feel as if that they're probably both equally crazy. Actually, I think Mick Foley is equally crazy, but Spike Dudley, it just looks like it hurts more.
It looks because he ain't got no body. He just
Like,
stick.
yeah, it's like
Pause.
Spike,
Fuck.
Spike. Wow.
Oh, god damn. Shit.
Lord, bro, calm down. Calm down.
Anyway,
But Spike, like Spike Dudley, he's like a pre-adolescent teenager, is what he looks like. Even now, just with more facial hair. But it's like he looks like a small teenage kid, like a small teenage skater boy who just to watch him be ragdolled is it just looks so bad. And honestly, it might not even it might just look worser than what it may actually feel sometimes. But
I
at the
don't know,
same
man.
time,
That un-American moment where what was it Lowry's installs where they take Spike and they try to throw him on a fucking table, but the back of his head hits the fucking table. That shit, bro.
yeah,
That's an annoying ass pain. Like out of everything else, Mick Foley being thrown off a fucking cell, being thrown on tacks and shit. The back of your fucking skull, that's an annoying ass pain. That's like while this is all consensual, even though we consent to that, we gonna fight in the back. We fighting in the back. Because bro, how
fuck,
did you
bro,
miss that whole fucking table? Whole ass
fam.
table.
It looks. He makes the person who is following in his footsteps in that particular light, and even then,
Darby
Spike
Allin.
Dudley. Yes, but Spike Dudley still makes it look like it hurts. Like Spike Dudley's just, and I still think it's because he's smaller than Darby Allin is. Like Darby, he's small, but like he's got a little more meat to him, as where Spike was literally mad tiny, like tossing a teenage child so all around. But it's like Darby's trying to catch up. Like he's gone down that Mick Foley route type thing. But like I personally think Mick Foley I think has done worser things, but because he's a whole lot of man, like it's one of those things like it hurts, but because he's just so big and he can take so much damage, it's hard to see it. As where Spike Dudley do the same thing. Imagine Spike Dudley getting tossed off the cage by
Mm-hmm.
the Undertaker. That would look so much more deadly.
I think he would actually flew in the crowd.
Honestly, because of how light he is. Which
Like Mick being a heavy guy actually probably saved his life.
like
Because he
Spike
probably,
looked like he
as he
would
was being thrown, like, oh hell no.
like Spike Dudley because of the type of how small he is, which is I also the thing is the main deal with him because he's so small and he's like probably like 150 pounds. These 200, 300 pound dudes can toss that like it's nothing. So they have to actually hold back when it comes to throwing somebody like him. Otherwise, you get them situations where you see them, they just, and Spike misses the fucking table and lands.
He probably would land on the fucking barricade, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
And he probably would be like, oh my God, broken in half. And guess what Spikes will probably do? Ah, ooh, get up. What the fuck?
But
Knowing
and
Spike.
there's also that fact where it's like because he's so small and he's not so heavy, like like how like when you throw certain like when you drop heavier things, they hit the ground harder.
Yes.
So I feel as if it might be the same for him, where it's like he just looks like it hurts him more, but like maybe he's not hitting the ground as hard since he's done it. Gravity does not pull on him like it as hard as everybody else. Or maybe I'm just talking stupid. I don't know, but damn, that Spike Dudley makes it hurt.
Yes. Um, but I asked all that Titantron wise because to me the best Titantron was Stone Cold Attitude Era. Like with the the skeleton middle finger, you get the Sergeant Slaughter stunner where he flips and shit. Like all of that best goddamn Titantron
The
ever.
little rattlesnake strike and everything.
Yes. Everything about that Titantron is pure fucking gold. Remember how we were just talking about if you want to understand a wrestler, you look at that fucking Titantron of Austin, all you're seeing is carnage. It's to the point where we already know the fucking song itself. The glass breaks, you know it's your ass. You hear the glass, that's your ass. It's to the point now that my ADHD having ass brain, it might be the tism too. I don't know what it is. But if I have any glass item in my hand, my what's those thoughts the inclusive or
Intrusive
intrusive
thought.
intrusive thought is
Intrusive.
immediately because I want to hear that glass shot.
See, going straight to destruction isn't what I do. But whenever I hear something shattering, whether if I whether if it's some ceramic from the kitchen while I'm sitting at a restaurant for my food, or if it's just like I drive by and I run over some glass, which happens from time to time, and I hate it because I'm thinking I'm about to mess my tire up. But nonetheless, anytime I just hear it, the immediately is dun 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 dun. That's the first thing I do. And only the real ones who I'm sitting with, they'll be all like, "See what you did there." And
Nah,
also, it's also a good way to make new wrestling friends. Because like if you're just somewhere and then like there is the sound of like glass breaking, and you just do those first few chords of Stone Cold's theme song. Many times I've had people turn around like, "Did you just Stone Cold Steve Austin?" I'm like, "My guy!"
that's how memorable that song is and how wrestling music used to be. And I can't stand constantly doing that right now because I don't want to feel like I'm living in the past constantly. But what I'm saying is there's just certain things that were really effective in wrestling. And I don't know if the production crew or somebody just said, hey, can we just stop putting too much energy in these things? Or like, I don't know,
This
it just makes the wrestler look over more than it's supposed to. Just put his fucking name up, man. It's just his fucking name should be good.
I don't think it's that. I think it's just more so. I feel there's a small hint of laziness, and then something that I've seen or I've like it's kind of sort of been like an ongoing thing when it comes to certain wrestling is the fact like the people who are putting everything together, they always have this consensus of all like they don't care about that no more, or they don't remember that, or they don't want to see that. Like there's so much of that happens in the background that we don't be seeing. Cause what was it? I think like a good example of that was like the thing that we all wanted. Stone Cold versus Sting. Not sorry, not Stone Cold versus Sting. However, that would have been a good match. Undertaker versus Sting. When Sting came into the WWE. Like it has been famously noted the fact that like both of them was all like, hey, so like can we run this with Taker? Can I run this with Sting? And Vince was all like, no one wants to see that dumb shit. And it's like, fuck you mean no one wants to see? That's literally what we've been wanting to see for since they've both showed up on their separate brands. Like that's all we wanted, actually. We didn't want Triple H. We didn't want Seth Rollins.
Not in the slightest.
We we wanted the Dead Man versus the Stinger. Okay. And honestly, especially at the time, they would have still had an absolute banger of a match. It would have been great. But no,
I'm
no.
I'm also looking back at certain Titantrons now. I don't know. It's showing in my glasses. I can see, but looking at like things like John Cena's fucking old Titantrons, and I just remember there's always good. It's the one that every time it used to hit for me is when it shows his necklace and it moves. Bro, when that shit came on, oh my god. Woo!
I'll have to actually like go through and like relook at Titantrons, but I also have to be careful because sometimes I'll be looking at Titantrons or I'll be watching like rest. I'll be listening to a theme song and I'm looking at Titantron like, wait a second, it's not what it is. Because sometimes people be like making Titantrons on
Yeah,
YouTube
yeah,
and then
yeah,
acting
yeah.
all like, yeah, this Shinsuke Nakamura's theme song was the Titantron. And I'm like, okay, this wasn't the Titantron. Don't lie to me.
Oh,
Don't lie to me. Stop that. Stop. Stop
yeah.
Stop
Nah, that was definitely a thing. But um, outside of Titantrons alone, music alone. The other big question, since I kind of wanted to lead this into next week's stuff. Who? Let me pull the question back up.
Is this Rudy Poo? I'm sorry.
Which era had the best mid card or underrated stars?
The best. Mm, uh, off the top of my head, literally just off the top of my head, I want to say like the PG ruthless aggression going into the PG era. I want to say
I can respect the ruthless aggression one. I can respect that.
they had some mid cards that or you could honestly say the whole SmackDown roster during the PG era.
Because they were all mid. Ooh.
Yes. Not because they were mid, but it's just because but they SmackDown was the mid card back in those days. I don't like it. Trust me, because that's where all this slander about the big gold comes from and whatnot that I will not have any of. Talking down about making the big goal sound like no one cared about it.
No,
Fuck
they
out of
did.
here, man.
They did.
Fuck out of
But
here.
so you particularly say that era.
Yeah, I'd probably say that one. Most
It's a
definitely.
toss up. It's a toss up to Ruthless and Attitude. I want to immediately say Attitude because that's me. But Ruthless did have some great mid card. It did have a good mid card, especially because I think that was when V1 era Matt Hardy was. And
Very
man,
much so.
the computer screen. That's another Titantron that's fucking fire, by the way. Matt Hardy, Matt Hardy.
With
Just,
with the matte
oh,
facts.
bro, the Matt Fax was everything. Oh man, Matt Fax were fire. I wish.
Him and Shannon Moore.
And then also Crash Holly, which that was an era I do not remember. I think that was around the time I wasn't able to watch wrestling because of my parents I was staying with at the time.
Crash
Um,
Holly's theme song is underrated.
I mean, it is hardcore Hollies, unless you're talking about when he was in V1, because he
Well, no,
had.
not. I'm more so thinking about like hard when Hardcore Holly and Crash Holly were together, and then
Oh,
I guess you could also say technically when Hardcore Holly kind of like branched off, hot like that whole
um,
thing.
I that was almost on my top 10 because I love that fucking theme.
Good thing.
Bruh.
Brock Lesnar, I'm gonna break your neck.
One thing that really got me too with that song is you remember that time that you hear like certain WWE theme songs in like commercials? Did you ever hear that?
Oh yeah, the Hardy
Yeah.
Boys' theme song.
Crash sometimes. Who's the other one?
Yes,
Steve
Crash Holly's theme
Blackman's
song. Yes, Steve. And it's funny because like all of those, I would hear those theme songs like on like Cartoon Network or
Yu-Gi-Oh.
when I'm watching WB.
Yeah, it was on with Yu-Gi-Oh one time, and I was like, the fuck?
Which goes to show the fact that like I actually want to have to look it up because like I don't think Jim Johnson made those, but I think those were like sometimes WWE used to do the thing where they would just find like these tracks that are just like out there, these free use tracks that are out there in the open. So
Like the Cactus Jack one.
damn, I wasn't gonna bring it up.
Man, and I
Only
hate that was that
only the
one
real
wrestling game we did not have the Cactus Jack theme song because they were like, oh, it was PG era. It's like, all right, so we know where that song is really from. We didn't know that.
which makes me wonder if that's truly where it's from or just so happenly they used it or maybe they used that first.
I don't know, and I don't care. I remember actually watching it, and I was like, bro, this is stuff that you would see in Playboy. So what's wrong with it? and used to super advertise Playboy.
So only because we're bouncing around on it, but like I don't even know from when.
I ain't bouncing on shit. But go ahead.
Wow. Oh, this damn goddamn pause. So the Cactus Jack theme song is oddly connected, and I did not realize how like well known it was connected to this. Like, because especially going way back when we were kids, and we're fucking around on the internet and we're fucking around on the internet in spots where we're not supposed to be fucking around on,
Yeah.
and then you find yourself on these websites and you're all like, I'm not supposed to be looking at this, but like that song, because for me it was like it was one of those ones where it's like I stumbled upon it, I watched, mostly just because I was baffled at the fact that his song was playing, and then in my mind I'm like, why did they use Cactus Jack's theme song for this? And of course, at that time my ability to do research was piss poor, so it was like I couldn't find out why. Even today, I've never looked back to see, but it's just like I'm watching.
Nobody really knows, bro. I don't think it's one of those things that somebody tells you like, "Oh yeah, we used it because we fucking can." That's what
But
I feel.
and then of course at the time of when I'm sure most of us discovered this, it's like it's not like we can just go somewhere and talk to our friends about it, be like, hey, so I was sneaking around watching
Wow.
the other night on the family computer,
You mean corn? You mean corn? Yes, corn.
and I found this video of this chick, doing things, and it was playing Cactus Jack's theme song in the background. Like,
Yeah, you would probably get considered lame or weirdo for bringing up the conversation with your boys.
correct. Therefore, it's like it's not until like the more recent times, like in the like as you get older, it's all like, so I'm not the only one who saw that too. And then to find out that small
The
little
issue is
controversy on it.
the issue is WWE effed up by letting it be known because I never knew that. I never knew it. Don't think I ever stumbled upon it. Nobody knew it. It's you knew it and said, "Hey, we're not going to use this theme song in this game because we found it was this." And it was like fans were like, "Wait, what? We didn't know." Oh, it is? Well,
It's
thank you for
funny.
letting us know.
It's funny because that's one of those things where it's all like WWE found out about it and then they had to make a big deal about it.
Yep,
Then
snitched on
people like, and
themselves.
then it's like people like me who knew about it for years. We're all like, okay, now it's all right to come out and say, oh yeah, I've seen that. I've been knew that. That's old news, dog. What are you talking about?
Yo, not you being like, "Oh, y'all didn't know."
Literally. So y'all did, I got
Oh,
the video
you
saved.
didn't
What are you talking
know?
about?
The
Like
video saved
I
is crazy. The
I don't.
video saved.
I I don't. However, I have
Mm-hmm.
thought
Mm-hmm.
about going back trying to find it
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
save it
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just because of the fact of what it is. And the
As
internet.
a lost relic, as I bring up again.
Listen, there are things that are slowly disappearing on the internet nowadays. You know what I'm saying? They're slowly deleting the internet. But
No
that's just
way.
me. Listen, it's the truth. Listen, I might sound a little tinfoil hatty on that one, but like I got homies and I got friends who can back me up on the fact that there are things that used to exist that are slowly no longer existing and becoming lost media. So,
Give me an example before we head out.
well, like certain cartoons and stuff like that, or that, or like old YouTube videos from the golden age of YouTube
Mm-hmm.
have been like slowly disappearing. Like of like old, of old memes before memes was given the name. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
Like
Okay.
your shoot the whoops, your
I know we had seen the men toe crunch. I ain't know
well,
we had.
I mean, you could say stuff like that, but that's also a little bit more niche. But like on a grander scale, like your YouTube poops, your over 9,000
Oh
videos,
my
your
gosh,
your
man.
This Is Sparta remixes. Uh, are we allowed to talk about the bear? Because since there's certain words, the other p word.
Oh, no, yeah, that one's gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like however, it's funny thinking back on that because one of those things was like, man, that was just such a different time because it was a joke to have that brown bear with the black eyes. People used to put it on their cars. I've seen bumper stickers of
Mm-hmm.
this bear. Like, but it was funny to watch at the. I mean, yeah, it was funny to watch at the time when they were just like making the bear run as like kids. Yes, that
No,
YouTube poop.
no.
Those kind of things are being taken off of YouTube. Apparently, like they're slowly like just disappearing where you can't find them. It's crazy.
I literally looked it up right now of the Roundup.
Listen, YouTube poop was a great time to be alive. Like it was a very particular type of humor, and it's just interesting to see how internet humor has evolved in that particular sense in an all round bit.
Oh,
Freaky, how
I'm
did you
already
get
like,
me on talk about YouTube poop and stuff?
I'm sorry, man. I'm like a few
How
seconds
we
in and I'm
how did
like
I get
watching
down
the clip.
this random segue?
Oh
Got
man,
me
no,
out here
because
with my tinfoil hat on.
but we're just talking about in general, just the things that we are familiar with from back in the day. And originally, the conversation was supposed to be about the mid card, who's the underrated mid card that we are familiar with. Because next week, I want to kind of dive into wrestlers that we feel like were underrated, not really recognized as much, but they were really holding down the freaking fort. Just like how you were
Listen,
saying
trust
Dean
me,
Malenko earlier.
I know all about that, all about that kind of stuff. Which just as showing another one of my DZ shirts that I've had here. I'm going through the lineup right now, so I'm
Come
probably gonna
on,
wear my blue one
bring
next
it
week.
on.
So
But I can't tell what you want to. That to me is a better theme song. But anyway, so guys, if you've
nah,
been here all of the episode, we definitely appreciate you as always. As just two guys who shoot the shit, talk about wrestling, the things that we love, the things that we enjoy, and all that shit just give you pieces of us. But with every episode,
had me out here talking so hard, I forgot I was eating this burrito.
damn. But with every episode, there is always going to be destruction because it is the Big Brothers of Destruction podcast. Be sure to like the video. Matter of fact, super kick the fucking video if you want to. I don't give a damn. You could stone cold stunner it. Do whatever you like to, but definitely hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Please
Yeah, with
share
that
if
black hole slam, buddy.
brother, did you get the video I sent you of that?
Oh yes, listen.
Yeah.
Any
Ooh.
anytime someone's I actually really love the fact that people know how much I love Abyss. So there will be times where I'll just be doing something and I'll just get randomly tagged in an Abyss video. I'm like, thank you so much.
But yes, also if you're on our Facebook, our Instagram, as well as our social medias, please do be sure to like those as well. As we will be back here next Monday with another episode and hot topic of the week. So till next time, it's the Masaku.
It's your boy Swag Switch about to get down on this burrito. Pause.
Nah,
But I'm
that's
eating
okay.
it.
That's okay. Um, we're out, guys. Peace.